not care about any health protocols. He's like, I don't care. I'm not wearing a mask.
I know Joe Tollison was like, I wonder how his doctor feels about this.
I might be having a baby like today. Who knows? She's ready to pop. So
if you were watching this episode, a baby's probably born already. You played the intro music again, but that's okay. Just keep going.
We're having technical difficulties.
I'm gonna try to pull the buzz.
It's
gonna be a lock. We gotta do the over to. You know, we always take the boys.
Welcome to the 19th episode of the City Boys Show. I'm Javier. We got Danny.
What up?
We're missing our compadre Buzz. Little driving accident. He's fine, but he's a horrible driver.
Horrible. I'm not betting with Buzz's driving skills.
Definitely not. those, yeah. You don't want to be in a car with Buzz. This episode we're gonna recap Danny's experience at Montreal.
You played the intro music again, but that's okay. Just keep going.
We're having technical difficulties. We talk about our loss versus Columbus Crew. We talk about your experience at Montreal, and then we preview this Inter Miami game. We beat them last time. We're gonna beat them again, but we'll talk about that later. And then we have a little Taty watch.
Ooh.
We need some updates on Taty. Everybody loves Taty watch.
Sometimes I feel like we're kind of like the ex who's still stalking the social media profile.
Bro, I'm not over him.
Not over him.
Bro, he looks cute in a red outfit. No, but I'm not over Taty. But let's talk about Montreal. How was it for you?
Yeah, so we don't want to spend too much time on Montreal because I know it was a couple games ago, but some things we wanted to point out that you couldn't see on the television set. One, Montreal is very pretty, just very cool town. Their primary language is French, so just being out there, you feel like you've traveled across the country.
Wow.
Cool. The poutine, we went to this poutine spot, which is like French fries with gravy and cheese curds, on point.
Okay.
Fancy. And the stadium itself, just wanted to point out, was like loud. Like, it was sold out. I asked the press guy what's the capacity. It said 19,969 people.
Wow, that's a pretty good showing.
That is a pretty good showing, and it was pretty when the game was about to start, it looked a little empty.
Yeah,
but then it got really packed. But for all those pros, stadium looks a little janky. It was before you show that, we like the press box itself is just like tiny.
Yeah,
and even the bathrooms are kind of made out of like they look like trailers and containers. So it looked like they need to get a stadium up 1, 2, 3, and they built it. I think I know where I got it from. Show the picture, man. I think they got the stadium from IKEA, bro. I was there and I was like, what they do is really cool. Actually, is like they go and they say, make some noise on the screen, and people bang to like make the noise, and it gets really, really loud. But it also looks like the stadium's about to collapse, bro.
Was the stadium shaking at all?
It was shaking, bro. But it's because if you had one L key, you could take out the whole stadium in one spot, bro.
If nobody sees this, Danny did a whole IKEA box here for the podcast version. It's pretty funny. Listen to the YouTube if you haven't.
Oh yeah, and then that's actually the name of the studio. That is Saputo. I can't say it, but it sounds like an IKEA name. So I legit think they bought it from IKEA. One guy set it up with his wife with an L key.
But that's crazy that the acoustics were so loud.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool stadium.
But when you go to a regular stadium and they say get loud, nobody listens to it. When you're at a baseball game, you might listen to it. But anytime, like, I don't even know if they've ever done it in an NYCFC game where they say get loud, but I don't think I would actually listen to it.
You know what, though? They pick like opportunity time. Like, I think our supporters know when to get loud. Yeah. And they do it naturally. So, like, for example, a big corner comes up. Yeah. And the crowd gets crazy in Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Here, they're like, when it's like, it feels like a really important corner, or it feels like an important free kick, they put it on the screen.
Yeah, we don't need to be orchestrated. We know when it's a big moment. These guys are half watching this game. Come on, they need to really pay attention to these games. Is there anything else that we should know about Montreal?
One last thing on the stadium. They do not take care of the away team, man. The press interview with the coach afterwards, under the stairs, my guy. They literally put up an NYCFC like little,
that's mad bootleg
tarp thing they put up with the symbol on it, and we're right there. Nick Cushing, he came up and he looked and he was like, "Where's the toilet?"
Yo, that's so good.
But
that's
mad bootleg.
That's mad bootleg. That's like a high school basketball game. You just finished the game. It's just hilarious.
And it's crazy because their press for their team, mad bougie. It's like this perfectly nice studio. It has this like amazing lighting. There's like the camera setup. It's like really established, and they put us under the stairs. That was a little ridiculous. But for the exception of that, very cool experience.
How was the actual game though?
Well, I mean, the game itself was we didn't look too good. We kind of got lucky with that draw. I mean, the team was already hyped. I forget the guy's name, but there was a coach on the team, and he was also a player that he died.
Recently passed.
Yeah, from cancer. And they did a tribute to him, and it was really beautiful. I almost cried a little bit when they started it. And so you thought, they wanted to win for that guy, and you could tell. I mean, they were playing really well. They should have had a couple goals. Yeah. And one got just swiped to the moon. I don't know what that guy was thinking.
Oh, I know. He had an opportunity.
Yeah, Sean Johnson wasn't even in front of the net, man. And he missed that. But we played bad. Like, we only had 41% possession. They had 59% possession. And really the only like light in this very dark game was Hack.
Oh, Hack played tremendous that game.
He was amazing.
Who gave him tribute for they said I think he was the best player out there. Was
Callens? It was Callens.
That's crazy. Hack has been like an immediate impact, and it's kind of crazy. Now you kind of just want to see him every game just because he's been playing so well and he's been so consistent.
I know, and it's kind of weird because like Acevedo got the start last game, right?
Yeah, against the Columbus Crew.
Well, it's Columbus Crew, and he didn't play so well.
I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to have depth, right? If you can have more people who are skilled at that, and Hack, he's known for being 6, so I don't think you necessarily are mad at that, right? Yeah. If their people are fighting for a position, and we've always had injury problems, so if we have more depth on the field in that sense, I think that's great for us.
And I think you can tell the difference between what Hack's been bringing versus Zelalem, who had a lot of playing time under Ronnie. Yeah. Zelalem always looked a little lost out there. Yeah. Hack looks like he's contributing, like he's been part of the starting squad. Yeah. So I hope to see more of him.
I think that just came with time too, because he's been with the squad for so long. Granted, he hasn't been starting, but he's been playing really, really strong ever since he actually got to start. And I guess it took some time for him to get to this point. You know what I mean? But now that he's here, it just feels natural.
Yeah. I actually got to talk to him after the game for a minute. Esteban enjoyed that we made the trip over, so he brought Hack over so I could talk to him for a few minutes. Questions were mad basic. I messed up.
Come on, bro. I got
nervous, man. It's funny. He came down and I was like, "Oh, I get to talk to the MVP of the game."
You get nervous with Hack. Hack is nervous himself still at this time. Two little nervous schoolboys looking at each other.
But it got him ready. He gives the perfect standard answers.
What'd you ask him? Anything?
Mad basic.
How did the game go, buddy?
How did the game go? Did you think you guys played well? It was mad basic. It was not my best moment.
That's all right. You're growing as a journalist. There we go.
All right.
But we got to get into a little Taty watch. Let's get into this.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your Taty are?
Danny built that himself. That's hilarious, bro.
I'm so proud of that.
But we got to get into him. He's been on fire. Well, I know we're hyping it up. It is preseason, but he's on fire. I don't care, bro. Taty's got me hyped. He's scored in every game so far that he's played in.
Technically, I think it was one more game. That he's played in. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. That he's played in. He's 3 for 3. And he just looks good out there. It looks like he flows in that offense. He's making his opportunities like we know Taty does. It's good to see him out there.
It's really cool to see him. It makes me sad because we've been not 0-2, but we haven't had a win since Taty left. Yeah. And you see him out there just like being Taty. Like he doesn't miss a step at all. And you're like, Jesus.
One thing I would like to say though, that first game, I was watching it, the first preseason game that Taty was there. Yo, that stadium or whatever that was looked mad bootleg, bro. So when people hate on Yankee Stadium, I'm like, dude, this looks way more bootleg than what we got. And this is La Liga. So I don't want to hear it. Granted, they just came from the second division, but still, that stadium looked mad bootleg, bro.
It did look mad bootleg. Also, that goalie was mad bootleg. Did you see
Bro,
that?
how did you? What was he even thinking, bro?
He had to defend like 3 feet, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, that was bad, bro. I don't know, but Taty Watch is officially going. We're gonna keep doing this every
We're
time
gonna
he scores. We'll have Taty Watch for him.
It took me way too long to make that intro for us not to do that. Like 10
we
more
definitely
times.
got to keep using that because once you do something, I know it took you like 5 hours to actually get that animation going. But yeah. Anything else on Taty? I don't know.
I think it's a good transition to how much we missed Taty in that Columbus Crew game.
Yes, let's get into that Columbus Crew game.
You want to recap it before we talk about it?
All right. So to start off, well, we'll give the score line at the beginning. We ended the game. We lost 3-2, right?
Mhm.
But let's talk about how we got to that point. In the 4th minute, Amundsen scores a goal, but it was technically we all thought, oh, he scored a goal, and in that angle, it actually looked like he scored originally. Like, wow, that was a sick goal by Amundsen. But when you look at the replay, it actually bounced off Mensah, their defender, for the Crew, and they considered it an own goal.
Yeah, I was actually looking into that of what makes it an own goal versus what makes it a goal.
Yeah.
And if you are trying to pass the ball and then it deflects in, it's an own goal. If you're shooting the ball, then it's a score. So Amundsen was trying to cross it, and so it's an own goal versus
wonder
the
how
Pereira one.
Oh, did the Pereira one count as a goal?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Not an own goal, a real goal.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
So we had two like situations where they could have been an own goal or not an own goal, and that's how you know.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So Columbus Crew, 20th minute, they score with Fernandez. I forget how that goal happened. I forget the first one, but the second one was so bad because it was Sean Johnson who just threw the ball away. Unfortunately, 27th minute, Zalarion. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but it's okay. Zalarion scores. And it was just a bad pass by Johnson. I think was he trying to get the ball to Amundsen or to Tavon Gray? I forget who. He was trying to get one of the wings on the. I think it was the left side.
I think it was Amundsen.
Yeah, I think it was Amundsen too. But those are the mistakes that we've seen consistently happen.
He gets them like once or twice a year, and I don't know what happens in those situations, but he does.
I mean, he saves us so many times that you can't complain, but those things do happen. And honestly, we've had mistakes that have been overshadowed by like games that we've won, but there's still been some glaring mistakes that we've done in the past that we really didn't like. We kind of brush it off, but those are big mistakes that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, but I mean, man's got like 8 clean sheets this year.
No, he's been dominant. I can't complain about it.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna hold it. It is something that he consistently. But I think it's one of those things that it's just so much. You notice it.
Yeah.
Because when you make that mistake, you're done. So it's like, is every goalie making that mistake?
Yeah.
Probably. So I think we just noticed, but it's not that much to be a huge problem.
No, I agree. It's definitely not a huge problem. It's not Sean Johnson. I'm just saying, not even just Sean Johnson making mistakes. I think the team overall making mistakes that we've seen, and it's been kind of overshadowed by us winning a lot of games.
Gotcha.
But let's keep getting into it. 64th minute, Gabriel Pereira scores. This was another deflector. Like he was trying to, but he was actually trying to shoot for exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He was trying to shoot the goal and it deflected off another player. Another lucky bounce, which is crazy to think about that these our two goals were kind of lucky bounces for us.
Yeah, which was insane.
And then later on in the game, when did we lose Collins? I think it was like somewhere in the 70th minute or late 60th minute. So we lose Collins. He gets injured. And then in the 75th minute, Zalarion scores again. And it was kind of like the ball was all over the place. It kind of got bounced around by a couple defenders and the offense. Why did they score on us there? Like, what was our mistake there?
I mean, for some reason, we like suck against Zalarion. That dude's got like 6 goals on the team.
Yeah, I think he's got 6 goals against 6 games on us.
Which is insane.
That's insane. He scores every time.
He's like a Bo from New England. And also, it just felt like we left him wide open all the time. Like I think he could have scored more goals. Like you would see where he's like right in front of the box.
Yeah.
And no one was in front of him and he would take a shot. And he had so many of those opportunities. And, if you get 7 shots and no one's defending you, you're going to make them in. And so I felt like this was just one of those opportunities. Even when Collins was in the game, there was a lot of that going on. And,
No, it's so true.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Martins and Callens that game, but I thought they played really, unfortunately, poorly.
Yeah, I think there was too much space back there. It just felt like Zellerian was running free out there. And Sean Johnson saved us a couple of times. That's why you could complain about him, but he saved some like really great shots by Zellerian and the rest of the team. So it was quite the performance for Johnson, even though he did make that glaring mistake.
Yeah.
But that gets into I think the bigger problem. Yes, defensively we allowed 3 goals, which probably shouldn't have happened. But the defense has been so good that you really can't fault them. But the offense, yes, we did score 2 goals, but those were pretty lucky goals. Do you think what did you think of Talas and Hebed's performance?
I thought they were both kind of invisible out there, but I think Hebed wasn't given the opportunities to do what Hebed does. Hebed is not creating opportunities the way Taty created opportunities.
Yeah.
And so Hebed's really good when you give him the ball within the box. He never got that opportunity. He never got the ball in the box. Yeah. And so he had no chances to do what Hebed does best. Talas Magno, I think, was really disappointing. Like, I felt like he doesn't seem like he has either the stamina or the want to like play hard a little bit. I don't know what the word is, but
I completely agree with you. Something about Talas was off this game. Like, he wasn't I don't know what it was. He looked tired in that second half, and I'm curious why he looked tired. Is there an injury in play? I don't really know. But yeah, he didn't have the intensity. Towards the end of the game, he was gassed. Like, he didn't go for the ball. I think it was late in the game, maybe like 80th to 90th minute. There was a turnover, a really bad turnover by the Columbus crew that we could have scored on. And Maxi gets to the ball faster than Talas Magno. And I'm saying, and Maxi does a good shot, but it gets blocked. But at that moment, I'm thinking Talas Magno is going to hustle. You know what I mean? Like, I understand he's tired, but he has that prime opportunity to score there. And he doesn't even get to the ball. How does Maxi get there before him?
Yeah.
So
35-year-old Maxi.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. And I think one thing that I noticed now that Taty's gone is how important Maxi is.
Mm-hmm.
Santi plays a big role too, but Maxi, once you got Maxi back in that game, it felt like there was a whole nother level. There was like, we were actually dangerous again. But and he's just so vital, especially, and I think that's what we're seeing now. Now that Taty's gone, Maxi's going to be the prime focal point again. And if he gets injured or if he can only come in 30 minutes, I think it's going to hurt us.
Yeah. I also think Tinnerholm coming in the second half was a really big part too. I think, my thing, I'm going to go on a little spiel here, but I think I think about Taty's time here, reflect on it, right? Yeah. Ex-girlfriend just left, reflecting on the relationship, what was good, what was bad, how can you be a better person?
We're still sad.
And I think my big thing is that Taty was never the superstar right out of the gate, right? Like, Taty doesn't have the talent, the feat skills, if that's the right word, that Talas Magno has. He didn't have the speed of Thiago Andrade. He doesn't have the in the box shooting ability, 6 feet that Hebed has.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the distribution that Santi has, right? But what he had was like this, and I think that's why he didn't get $15 million, honestly. I think it's a little bit of the MLS thing, but I think a big part of it is that he never showed that. What made him so dangerous was like his intensity. And like, he just always went 110%. And you could tell it, like, and because he went 100% then 10%, he like improved drastically, right? He went from being Jason before Jason, right? Flop king.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, I'm going to stop flopping. He couldn't pass the ball. And then he learned how to pass the ball. He didn't know like how to score, right? When Hebed first went down, we said, who's gonna make a goal?
Very true.
And he did that. And like, he consistently brought that intensity. And if you got a guy who's the Golden Boot winner and then is also still 110% every game, it gets the rest of the team to play super hard. Now Taty's gone, and I don't see anyone giving up that 110% where it drives the rest of the team to work super hard. And it's like that used to be Maxi.
Yeah.
But Maxi's 35 years old, man, now. Like, Maxi can't go 110% because he just can't.
Yeah.
And so I think someone else needs to step up. I think it should be Talles Magno, but the kid's 19 years old, and that's a lot of responsibility. And what I'm hoping is that Talles Magno can grow into that. But I think Tinnerholm's going to be that person as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, Tinnerholm always has brought that intensity, and I think that's why he was always my favorite player, because he's always been. He'll get in your face. He'll drive the ball towards the goal post. He's always had that ability to like be aggressive, and that's always what we needed, especially at right back right now. But can he get healthy enough? But yeah, so let's see what Nick Cushing and Nick Cushing had to say about Hebed and Talles.
Ultimately, they're going to be judged on Taty's stats, and that's natural. Taty was here for a long time and was able to really solidify his profile and his style in the team. And in the end, you saw the quality from him. And Hebed's been back in now 2 games, and Talles went in for 30 minutes. And naturally, they're trying to find the spaces and trying to make sure that they can help the team. I actually thought both of them did a really good job of linking the play. And in those moments, because naturally that's their style, the likes of Gabriel Pereira and Thiago Andrada and Santi Rodriguez, they get into positions where they can get the ball wide and get crosses in, or they can get shots away. So, we're obviously just in that period of change at the moment, but I was really pleased with both of their performances.
Yeah,
I think I like Nick Cushing, man. I think he's really good on these press conferences. But sometimes I think he'd be lying. He lied about Taty leaving.
Well, he had to technically lie. There was no news out.
Yeah,
so that's
no,
fair.
I know. But also, like, my whole thing is that I think he's still a young coach. He's only been here for a few games. Maybe you can't be shouting out players this early. But you cannot say. I was surprised that with the straight face, he was like, yeah, Talles and Magno played well.
Yeah.
Talles and Hebed played well.
Well, I think Hebed didn't. I think even Paul Joy mentioned it a couple times on the podcast. Hebed's not Taty, so we can't keep comparing him to Taty, and I think that's what Nick Cushing is. It's obvious that we want to keep comparing Hebed to Taty because Taty was so dominant this past year and a half, but they play 2 different styles of football. So yeah, Hebed's not going to come back for the ball. You have to free him up to score. You know what I mean? It's not like Taty who makes his own opportunity. So I think that's the difference in play. But we have the players who should be able to distribute the ball or get open so that Hebed has a clearer chance to score. And we're not seeing that, unfortunately. Or we haven't seen that in the past 2 games. It might be too small of a window, but we're going to overreact because that's what we do.
So the question is, I know there's been a lot of like the world on social media, right? We've seen 2 games of Hebed striker not doing it. Do you think they should have signed the striker during this transfer window?
That's a tough one because do you think we're lacking more at striker or at the midfield? Because we don't have Keaton Parks right now. Maxi's getting older. Granted, Santi can play some of that midfield as well, but I don't know if there was I don't know who was there available at striker to replace Hebed.
You mean Taty?
I mean, yeah, to replace Taty.
Well, as you know, Buzz wanted Luis Suarez, but he wasn't coming. Yeah, I don't know either, and I don't. So you're saying no? Wait, yeah. Before I go to my opinion, you're saying no, we shouldn't have signed someone.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think we should have signed someone. I think maybe our midfield probably needed somebody more than the striker position.
So you do think we needed someone though?
No, we should have probably. No, yes, I think we should have signed someone to bring more depth. But yeah, I feel like we lost our best player and we got nothing in return. I know it's a long-term investment because obviously Taty is gaining stock value right now as we speak if he keeps scoring like this. But it's frustrating to not see a replacement for him right now.
Yeah, I feel that we're then. I just think we have so much talent on this team between Talles Magno, Tiane Andrade, Santi Rodriguez, Pereira, Hack. Morales. Like, I just think this squad is really, really talented.
But are we overvaluing this talent? I think that's one thing I'm getting worried about. We keep talking about how talented this team is, but at the same time, are they that talented? Like, we've lost, like, we keep comparing them to last season, but we've lost key members to this team. We've lost Goody. We've lost Parks right now. He's temporarily injured. And people are going to say, who cares about Medina? But we've lost Medina. We lost somebody else. Oh, we lost Sands. So we've lost some big guys that I feel like we keep saying there's a lot of talent, and yes, they're young talent, but are we overvaluing this talent right now?
I don't know. I think Talles Magno, everyone keeps saying it. He's the superstar, right? He can be a superstar. Well, then he needs to play like a superstar. Stop saying we need to pick up Luis Suarez. I think if Talles Magno played up to his potential, no one would be talking about it, right? If Thiago Andrade played up to his potential, if Santi Rodriguez played up to their potential, like, we wouldn't be complaining. I think this team is good enough to win if they can step up. Like, I just think we do. I was the biggest Medina fan. Also, Medina.
Oh yeah, he had like a monster game recently, right?
In the past 3 games, he has like 3 goals and 3 assists or some crazy thing like that.
Okay, Medina.
Let's go Medina. I'm telling you, Medina's a beast. But point is that I think we have the talent with this team, and we don't need, because the thing is, once again, I love Taty, but what made Taty so good wasn't anything that makes these other strikers, in my opinion, like, so good that people want. It's just that
he had more intensity.
He had more intensity. And, like, can you just pick up another player that has the same amount of intensity?
I mean, I would say his footwork was nasty, though. He was nasty with the ball, and I don't think
really.
I honestly believe that he had some great footwork. I don't know. He brought something that we're not seeing right now. It's only been 2 games, and I think Hebed still should be in that. And I'm just worried: are we gonna get the Hebed from 2019, I believe, or it was 2020. I forget what year it is. But are we going to get that Hebed back? Because if we get that Hebed back, yeah, we have a chance. Because we've only surrounded Hebed now with better players, not worse. So we've definitely gotten better since that season where he got injured. So if we're surrounding him with the right pieces and he's able to, I missed the game, but in for Montreal, did he go full 90? I think that's one thing that scares me, is that we haven't seen.
He didn't go full 90 because they put Thiago Andrade. Yeah, he can't play full 90 at this point.
Yeah, and that's a big problem, because as our striker, we need him for the 90 minutes. And Taty would never get a break. Granted, he would always get 2 yellow cards back to back in 2 games, so he would have to sit. But when he was out there the whole game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
True. I still think we can win with this team, though. I don't think there was this huge hole where people should be so upset that we didn't pick up someone. That's my whole thing. I'm on the Twitterverse a lot. I feel a lot of frustrations, and I think this team could still win it with who we have.
All right, let's move on to NYCFC versus Inter Miami. So what do we got going? This game, Higuain has had 4 goals since the last time they played us. He sucked with us when he played against us. So I'm not too stressed about Higuain.
Yeah, and out of those 4 goals, 3 of them were against Cincinnati. I don't know. Cincinnati games are like
they're just like
football scores.
Yeah,
bro.
It's like mayhem out there. And by the way, this past weekend in soccer was just mayhem in MLS. It was just ridiculous amounts of goals scored.
It was cool. MLS, man. And the crazy thing is, I've been watching the MLS highlights, and just, is it me or the crowds just seem to get bigger and bigger, man?
Yeah, it feels like it's starting to grow. Actually, Alfredo Morales, after the game, he's like, I came because, like, this is really starting to grow, and I want to be a part of it. Even if it's just a small part, I want to be part of it.
And I feel like I'm seeing it too. Like, when I was in Toronto, I was like, they're feeling it. You know what I mean?
Even some of these signings, like, these are European signings that aren't, like, usually we get European signings that are super old, and, like, it's just like, yeah, they're at the end of their career and we just threw money at them. These guys feel like, it's crazy, because Bale came saying, I mean, he's already part of the national team, but he came saying, like, I want to play in the World Cup and I want this to warm me up to play for the World Cup. So he came over here saying, like, I want to be part of this organization. I want to be part of this league because I think I could grow from it.
And not only that, but I actually took a picture. Now, of course, I can't get to it. But, like, the list of players, like you said, that they've gotten, like, even younger. Like, if you looked at Instagram and you just looked at, like, the most recent signings,
yeah,
between, I'm going to pronounce all these names wrong, but Dennis Bugua, Benteke, Matt Mazaga.
Oh, Benteke was a huge
he was
signing,
huge, bro. And
that
these
was
guys
insane.
are like, I'm not getting playing time in my team, so I'm gonna come here and get the playing time. And it's like, it's crazy. Some of these signings were insane.
Yeah, it's the league is very exciting right now. I think this is when
Puig joined too. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I think it's only good for the league, to be honest. We're getting these European stars, and they don't feel too old. It's not like these guys are out of the league and it's the retirement league now. But it feels like this is becoming like a league that people want to come play at.
Good time to start a podcast.
But let's get into the NYCFC versus Inter Miami. The last time we played them, it was Taty's last game. We didn't care about the score line. All we cared about is Taty winning, and we won. Taty having his farewell tour, basically. But they've gotten better since, right? They're 1-2 with no losses since the last time they played us.
Yeah, now they're ninth in the division, which is still out of the playoffs, but not too far behind. And they've been playing pretty well. I don't know, man. I mean, Higuain has been playing better, but when I saw him in New York, he just looked so old and slow that I just
he's still deadly. And I think 3 of those goals came in one of the games because
against Cincinnati.
Yeah, against Cincinnati. There you go.
Yeah. But let's talk about the starting lineup. What do you think the starting lineup's gonna be?
All right, my starting lineup is I got Sean Johnson, I got Tinnerholm, I got Martins, Chanot, Amundsen, Morales, Acevedo, Rodriguez, Maxi, Magno, and Hebed. Do you have any objections to this lineup?
So you got Santi back on the right.
Yeah,
you don't got him back on the 10th spot, and you got Maxi back in the 10th spot.
We needed Maxi out there. We needed him badly last game against the Columbus Crew. So that's why you got to put him back in the game.
No, I do, but I liked Maxi. I liked Maxi playing the 6th. And, I think Acevedo's been suffering a little bit. And so I think maybe go back to where you put and honestly, Pereira didn't play so great on Montreal, but I thought he played pretty. I thought he was one of the better players.
I actually agree with you in that sense. I thought Pereira played pretty well. Are we going to see Pereira consistently start? I don't know. And Rodriguez does sometimes suffer in the wings.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, it's very different if it's Tinnerholm backing him up or Gray. I think he can't stand it when Gray's back there. They're always yelling at each other. And you could just tell. I mean, the moment that Tinnerholm came in on that Columbus Crew game, you saw Tinnerholm flying on the right side. It felt like he was every opportunity he had, he was trying to get in the box. And I was like, I really miss Tinnerholm, man. So I think regardless, I think what I would do is put Maxi back on the 6, keep trying that out, put Santi on the 10, especially because Santi needs more time on the 10. Because there's been rumors that Maxi's gone after the season. I heard he wanted to play, wanted to pull Luis Suarez and go home for 1 year and play there. So like we're still second in the division. Put Santi on the 10, experiment while we still have a chance. Put Maxi on the 6, put Pereira there, and then hopefully Tinnerholm can help Pereira make that link work. So that's what I would do.
If last game is any indicator of how the season's going to go, we need Maxi and Tinnerholm out there. Like we need them to be healthy for us to have a successful campaign the rest of the season, to be honest. These guys have shown that they are the difference maker. While Tavon's great defensively, just offensively, I just feel like we suffer so much when he's out there. That it's just I just don't think there's anything dangerous about him out there offensively. So yeah, I agree. The only thing I would say is I like Max. I don't know. I like Acevedo out there as well. So I think we could have Rodriguez out on the wing because I don't think Pereira brought that much more than Rodriguez will bring.
He brought a goal,
a lucky one at that. But I agree. I mean, I don't know. Well, we should talk about Chanot as well. I mean, Chanot replacing Callens. How's that going to fit? I just feel like when we see Chanot and Martins out there together, I don't know if they have that chemistry yet. Like, I don't know. I feel like we've suffered. And I don't know. Have we seen them out there together?
I think they played one time together during the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
I think I remember them there. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see Chanel out there. But I'm excited though. Callens before that injury, I don't think was playing that great the last game. But Callens has been a superstar this year, so I'm not going to discredit Callens. But I think Chanel as a plan B is a really good plan B to have. So I'm not like too concerned. And I think Chanel is starving for minutes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think that he gets his opportunity. He's gonna play really well.
And he's starving, and he's like, I'm not wearing a mask. He does not care about any health protocols. He's like, I don't care. I'm not wearing a mask.
I know Joe Tollison was like, I wonder how his doctor feels about this.
We're doing betting with Buzz. There is no Buzz, but we're gonna bet anyways.
You're gonna bet with the brothers.
Betting with brothers. So the line is 120. Are these accurate right now?
These are accurate. Yes,
plus
sir.
120 to win for NYCFC. Plus 240 for the draw. Plus 190 for the loss. Why do you do these stats? Oh, 190 for the other team to win.
Yeah.
All right, 190 for Inter Miami to win. Minus 142 for the over and 2.5, which I think is kind of a lock. And plus 116 under 2.5. So what do you got? What do you think is the lock of the lock? Betting with brothers, Danny.
I'm gonna try to pull the Buzz.
He's wearing the hat backwards. Oh, he's ready. He's Buzz.
It's gonna be a lock. We gotta do the over to. We always take the boys. We always take the boys to win. So gotta take the boys to win. I owe you a chart from 2016. We haven't figured that out yet, but we take the boys at plus 120. You gotta take the boys at plus money. I don't really agree with. I'm pretending to be Buzz. And I might do the plus 116 under 2.5.
Plus 116 under 2.5. Wow, really? You think it's going to be a low-scoring game?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
I don't think so. I definitely disagree with that. But if you had a parlay, because go back to Danny, transform back to Danny. The Danny would do a parlay right now.
This is the guy who knows how to drive.
What is your parlay for this game?
Ooh. I think I would say, I know people aren't going to like this, but draw.
Boo.
Draw. And Higuain to score.
Higuain to what?
Yeah.
Wait, you expect a draw? Then who do you think is going to score from our side?
Heber or
you just trashed on Higuain being so old, bro.
Bro, he's scored the past few games. I don't know. And we got it's a different lineup there with Chanel and Martins out there. I think the chemistry is gonna be a little. Tinner Holmes is gonna be new back there too. It's gonna be a different back line.
What do we think? Do we think Tinner Holmes starts?
I think Tinner Holmes starts. He's got to, bro. Gray, I love Gray, man. But God, he's so bad offensively. We need Tinner Holmes out there.
I agree. Well, I would if I'm gonna do a parlay. You got to go with the win. Final predictions. What's your final score for this game?
So my original thought was 1-1 draw, but your positivity is changing my mind. But that's going to go against my parlay. So I'm going to stick with the 1-1 draw. I really want the boys to win. I really want it to be a 2-1 game. But I just haven't seen the chemistry yet on offense.
Yeah.
If you go by historical trends with Taty, it's hard to imagine 2 goals at this point. I mean, even though they scored 2 goals last game, but they're both off deflections. To be safe, I'm calling it a 1-1 draw.
I'm going 2-0. I think we're gonna win 2-0. I think Sean Johnson gets back on the clean sheet. We're gonna win this game. I'm gonna predict a Hebed goal, and I'm gonna predict a Maxi goal.
Ooh.
I was gonna even get crazier and say Maxi penalty, but not. Wait, so who takes the penalty now?
Hebed all day, day, bro.
I agree.
wait. Before we leave, you understand almost every episode you call clean sheet, and you're probably more right than wrong, which is crazy.
I mean, really, it's really easy to say clean sheet all these times because he's been on fire. I hope he wins goalkeeper of the year.
I really do too.
He definitely should win it. Guys, if you like the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Any final words, Danny?
So set expectations. We're not doing an episode next week. a man's here is having a baby.
I'm having a baby. I'm
He's
excited, guys.
and we can't do it without him because he does all the technical stuff.
I might be having a baby like today. Who knows?
Oh,
She's ready to pop. So
if you were watching this episode, a baby's probably born already.
Yes. So no episode next week, but we'll try to get you something, right?
Exactly. We'll try to release some type of bonus content out there, and we'll have a new NYCFC fan in the world.
A little NYCFC baby. She's gonna kill it. All right.
Let's go.
Later, Ja.
Peace.
Peace.